So they'll be calling you a radical. So as told from day one, the only person that stood up to this fraud, Utah's being defrauded hardcore by Nuscale, these little SMRs. And, I've talked to Reyes about this at the Bear River Massacre, our Attorney General. He told me he didn't even know what I was talking about, didn't know what they were. What? So finally, a financial investigative journalist, which I've been feeding it up to everybody from day one for well over 10 years on a silver platter. When these guys went public, I'm like, this is the biggest sham I've ever seen. So the stock is plummeting. It's ready to go under $4. It's going to get delisted. A financial journalist says that their number one main client is a fraud and has already been. The contracts they signed that tried to give it a boost with money, he's already been convicted of financial crimes. But, of course, the slap on the wrist, still $1 billion, pay back $1 million. The, United States stock market way, Ayn Rand Greenspan. So Utah's the only municipality in the world that's funding them. AMPS, I'm part of the person that put AMPS together. AMPS was for wind and solar. They stole it, fair and triangle, and I was the only one in the Utah House battling them, tooth and nail, fighting. I'm like, no, this is a fraud. The original funding was Kenwood Financial. Kenwood Financial, I'm the guy that outed that Kenwood Financial was a Ponzi scheme, and the CEOs of South American gangs are doing, I think, life in prison. Oh, my God. I mean, a guy was arguing with the stock was 14. Tell me what a great buy. So I bet, I'm an old short seller from way, way, way back before I got cancer. Play back the tape. Remember in 2011, I had you just hammering Apple and Tesla. I had 30,000 shares of Tesla when it IPO'd. What happened? I got cancer right after that. 12 years ago right now. And I was uninsured. I had to fork it all over. It wasn't meant to be. But I hope you guys pounded it. I'm like screaming to everybody, short it, short it, short it, short it. Jose Reyes and Cajon, he even reports that they sold all their stock. What a fraud! So the Utah ratepayer right out of your bill. Where's my power bill? Right out of your power bill. These guys become millionaires off your back, and it's a sham. There was never no SMRs. I see Floor Construction because I'm up there where they're supposed to be testing them, Idaho National Lab. I'm up there all the time. And, I threw a fit. Floor Construction got their sign. I see their signs down. They're running and fleeing. Everybody's running and fleeing. But Utah funding, and where's Reyes? Where's the Utah Attorney General's office on this? I'll be talking to them in the next few days. And hopefully we get something done on it. We'll never get any of our money back. I've been trying to file suit for a long time against the state of Utah on this. And Reyes' office, I talked to a guy out of the Attorney General's office at the Raptors game here in Ogden, believe it or not. And we had a long talk and, about nuclear. And he says, well, what about these I said, wait a minute. Don't you work for the Attorney General? We're funding these at Nuscale. And I got him up to speed. I sat there and he was all ears, and we talked for a long time. It's pretty bad when Kevin White's the grassroots activist with no money, full of cancer. I have to school up these Harvard-educated, I think he was a Penn guy, educated, and this is his job. So this is the big, here you go. I hope you guys short it, make some money. So let's get to the other nightmare. We go from Gorbachev and Reagan, SALT Treaty 1, SALT Treaty 2, disarm. As bad as Bill Walmart Clinton was, I'll take him back. Downsizing the military, no inflation. We had a Congress that actually was fiscally responsible. We had a surplus. That you had a Republican-based Congress and a Democrat president that actually worked to balance. We're working to balance the budget. We're downsizing the military for real in the 90s. The Goldilocks economy that we had, no inflation. None. Thank you, Volcker did that in the 80s. But we had a responsible government. They were looking at this debt going to $3 trillion and freaking out. It's $33 fucking trillion. It's out of control. But get this. Guess what they did yesterday in the Nevada test site? Oh, yeah. They're back to testing nuclear here. The arms race on Balco. Tsar Putin pulled out of the arms agreement. The U.S., the U.S. and Russia, they thumb their nose at all international law. Look what, well, and Israel and the UK. Look at the depleted uranium. That's against the law. They're spraying depleted uranium in Gaza as we speak. The United States sprayed depleted uranium all over their own men in Fallujah, including Beau Biden. You know, we'll talk burn pits, but he won't talk depleted uranium. Where did you get depleted uranium? Nuclear energy reactors. So they thumb their nose. It's against international law. Nuclear weapons are against international law. They retested yesterday. Oh, it was a detection device, but it was a nuclear detection device. Putin's been popping them off over there for a while now. So is the U.S. You know, restarted the freaking arms testing. It was just a couple days after his second in 2012. Remember, I reported it. Some whistleblowers in Nevada says Obama just did an underground nuclear test in 2012. Look it up, December of 2012. It's a fact. So Obama restarted the nuclear testing, him and Putin, Tsar Putin. Well, you know, Obama and Hillary got to talk to Henry. You know, he's still running the show at 101 years old. So, the war criminal. So, the arms race, well, it never really ended. I mean, Gorbachev and Reagan tried. We go from Gorbachev and Reagan to Bush and Tsar Putin to, oh, God, Obama Dumber, the peace activist. Oh, my God. Remember, he won 12 Senate seats. He lost 12 Senate seats. I mean, he had a 60-40. I mean, all you guys are still on the left on your knees for Obama Dumber. That's the worst president in United States history until Trump tied him. Obama, and then we get, so we go from Gorbachev and Reagan. We thought Bush was bad, which he was. Bush, Tsar Putin. To a dumber Tsar Putin, to Trump Tsar Putin, to Biden Tsar. Oh my God, what a fucking spiral out of case. Fucking 9/11, the gift that just keeps on giving. Let's go to Iraq and slaughter 2 million fucking people that never laid a fucking hair when they were Saudis that we know actually did it. So the arm race is back on. They're retesting in the Nevada test site. My father was killed there. My father's Special Forces Marine was, you know, nuked to death there. I see my neighbor has just died, and I'm like, where the fuck? I couldn't find his obituary. And I'm like, what? He's in southern Utah. I tell these guys, you're out of your mind moving to southern Utah. Sure shit. As soon as he moved there, he got cancer. And this is not opinion, because I lived in the bone marrow transplant at LDS East State for 5 years. I really run into a really fantastic guy, because I was going to go to the Mayo Clinic when I got sick. I had, you know, some money to get in. And my doctor, Vincent Hansen, who I've known since I was a kid, says, no, you're not, Kevin. I said, I got the money. I've already talked to him. I'm going to the Mayo Clinic to Scottsdale. And he's like, no, you're not. You're going to LDS East State. I run into a young man who, you know, well, a man yesterday at the university promoting for graduate school for PhDs and the exact identical cancer as me, AML, treated at the Mayo Clinic. He's 2 years out post-treatment, and he's got the exact issues as I got. He says his aortic valve's failing, and they had to remove his gallbladder. Remember, my gallbladder pretty well ruptured because Mike Lee kicked me out of Medicaid for being an anti-nuker after I forked over well over $1 million. And he says all his teeth going. I said, that's exactly the playbook, but you're alive. Yeah. I says, I will quote my doc, Kevin, without all that heavy chemo, you were on, yeah, I had AML de novo. There was no chance. I'm a 1%er, you know. You lost your teeth. You went through so much pain. Your gallbladder pain's that big. Open heart surgery twice. You know, I have a pacemaker now. He says, I'm so sorry that you've had to go all through this, but without that heavy chemo, you'd be dead. I said, I know. It's not your fault, but my dad nuked to death in the Nevada test site. It's heartbreaking. You know, where's John Kennedy when we need him? Bob, by the way, I'm voting for Bobby. So if you want to know who I'm voting for Bobby Kennedy. Why? Because he's an anti-nuker, simply. He said, pull the plug on nuclear energy. No. He's an he's saying the last one to do that was his uncle, John. And so John, we know what happened to him as soon as he gave the speech. You know, it's almost like he's speaking to me as a boy. They open their testing in Nevada. Their kids are going to get leukemia. I was 3 then. Yeah, my father died of it in the prime. And this is a guy who never had a cavity, never had a cold, no cancer in any of his family. Some of his family members, a lot of them are still alive. And the two that have died, the war heroes, the real, well, heroes, I hate that word, the military decorated vets, like my dad. My dad was so Semper Fi to the end, the Semper Fi Marine. He was Semper Fi. He tried to get me to join. And my twin sister. I'm like, oh, fuck. But he was a peace activist, and he was an anti-nuker, and he was a Semper Fi Marine from hell. He was awesome. Died in the prime of his life. So did my Uncle Harold, Omaha Beach, D-Day, peace activists, hardcore anti-nukers. Same with Claude, BYU, probably the most famous decorated fighter pilot post-World War II in the history of the country. He just look up his obituary, Claude Blanche. Peace activists, anti-nukers, left, right, both on far spectrums of the political spectrum. They were all over the place, all three of them. One a fierce Democrat, one a fierce Republican. My dad was like me. He couldn't stand either party. He used to laugh at him. So here we go again. No changes are permanent. Pop, pop, pop. So I'll be in Brussels in March. I'll be in Monterey on the next full moon, or, I'll be somewhere in California on the coast of my sleep. My doctor gave me the okay to start traveling again from the open heart surgery. So Nuscale, what a fucking, and you had one guy fighting it. And, it's such a feather in my cap as far as trying to defend you from you, Utah, you for usury. Really attempting, and Governor Cox told me he didn't really even understand what these SMRs were right before he became governor. As soon as he gets in, he signs a deal with Bill Gates to build nuclear small reactors in Kemmer, Wyoming. Well, Bill Gates, the most hated man in Utah. Remember, this operating system, WordPerfect, Omega, Shift F13 was invented here. Utahns, hey, we had a trial in 2011 against Bill Gates in Salt Lake City. Why weren't you there? I was right above it in the bone marrow transplant center going in and out of a fucking coma. Fighting Nuscale. Oh, fuck, I fought him. I'm the guy that daggered Blue Castle. That's an unarguable fact. And so 19 little reactors by 24 new reactors by 2019 in Utah. They shammed us. They ripped us off. And we have no accountability. The Fed's going to go after them? Fuck, what? Who, the DOE? The old Biden fucking administration? They ain't going to do shit. They love fucking white criminals. They support them. They promote them. Just like Trump did. Fuck, they're both presidents. They are white collar criminals. They're both criminals. Look at fucking this whole shit with the fucking, Bo dies of cancer so young, but good son, bad son, east of Eden on Balco, fucking, where's fucking Lee when we need him? Timshel Valmaez, fucking Steinbeck on chemo, Blanche. Hunter Biden? Oh my God, what a fucking criminal in Ukraine. Trump? Oh, fuck. Remember Jill Stein and Flynn and all sitting with Czar Putin for RT? Fucking, remember all those guys, Manafort, all those? Trump's a criminal, so is fucking Biden. So is Obama. So is Bush. Dick Cheney, one of the greatest war criminals in human history, gets a standing ovation on the Senate floor from Democrats. Went off Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq, get a big old sack. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. Boogeyman, boogeyman, boogeyman. We invented a fairy tale called fucking ISIS. Let's fucking loot the United States Treasury to go out to Afghanistan to get 10,000 fucking Taliban when they were Saudis that did 9/11. Ask the fucking lawsuits, in Congress. And just look up who vetoed the Sovereign Wealth Act to sue the Saudis family, to sue the Saudi government for the 9/11. Almost passed unanimously in Congress. Oh, Obama vetoed it. And so they overrode the veto. And guess who voted against the veto? Look it up. Chris Stewart from Utah? Yeah. Voted for the veto. To not override the veto. Hillary Clinton? That senator in Pennsylvania? What left? Who are these fucking puppets? But I got to talk to Henry before I go to Fukushima. So Governor Cox, I'll be talking to him. I'm so pissed at him. Me and him's going to have quite the conversation about these SMRs and us being ripped off. How come nobody sues? So Nuscale's ripped us off big time. I hope you shorted the fucking stock. And Jose Reyes and Calhoun, all these insiders, just being bought by Kevin Blanche the whole time. They took the stock, IPO'd it at 10, it popped up a little bit with under Fed support, and they just been selling. And Jose Reyes sold $2 million worth of stock at $11. You know, just recently, I mean, the stocks are ready to go under 4. Finally, investigative journalist is reporting the fraud of it all, and it's fraud. And their only customer is us, Utah, coming right out of your power. AMPS, which was put together for wind and solar. They just plain so renewable. Nuclear energy is the opposite of renewable. Fucking one word. Fukushima. Oh, these little SMRs. What about at Idaho National Lab when they blew up and killed people off the wall? How about Santa Susana? How about on the White Sea, 88? Every time they try one, they blow up. They don't have any SMR. I'm up there all the time at Idaho, and I doubt they're even testing. This was a shakedown. Price Anderson, under the Congressional Act, they think they don't have to pay it back. Well, Utah state taxpayers, we have a legit fucking right to sue these guys, you know, from Utah, because they ripped us off. Finally, thank you to the investigative journalists, you know, that's finally reported everything that Kevin Blanch has been reporting for well over 10 years. Fucking what a sham. The greatest sham in Utah history, and that's saying a lot. Maybe you can run and give fucking Tim Ballard some more money. Fuck, what a scam those people are. They're going to be speaking at the university. I think Liv is smart's on that thing. Fucking human trafficking. Why don't you clean up your own fucking backyard? Tell you fucking go around the fucking world to brothels and fucking, you know, strip clubs, fucking Ballard and his fucking, you know, sexual repressed fucking women he cons in. Fuck, what a sham. So Nuscale, the greatest sham in Utah fucking history. And they've started fucking nuclear weapons testing again. The arms race back on Balco on Kibo. Mikhail Gorbachev. I went to his speech in Vienna. I've met him twice. What took down the old Soviet Union? Chernobyl and the covered up, you know, the meltdowns, the nuclear meltdowns at Chernobyl and the invasion of Afghanistan. Too big, I mean, just nightmares. What took down the old USA? The invasion of Afghanistan and the nuclear meltdowns at Fukushima, Japan. What? Japan? It's clear over there. Don't you fucking fools understand? Yalta by the Sea, that the United States has 100% control over Japan. The only thing Barry Antoinette Obama said, let them eat yellow cakes, said true. These treaties were signed long before I was born. Yalta by the Sea, remember? When we died about the war, the United States took Japan. We have 100% control. And if you don't believe me, look who's head of the cleanup at fucking Fukushima, Japan. Lake Barrett. You mean the guy that covered up fucking 3 Mile Island? Yep. Fucking the greatest crime in human history is the cover up of Fukushima. Give me more, give me more, give me more. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Nuclear meltdowns, fucking the Nuscale fucking scam perforated on the Utah ratepayers. And, you can go talk to 100 fucking Utah ratepayers out of their power. 100, and I'll guarantee you're going to get 100 for 100 has no clue what Nuscale even fucking is. You know, you got Kevin Blanch, and with no funding, full of fucking cancer, fucking battling on, trying to save you from you. Ho, 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 Utah. I mean, it's almost impossible. I mean, in Austria, they love me. You know, in Germany, they love me. You know, I have people come up and hug me and fucking, here, Kevin. I remember I had a lawyer come right up to me, an advocate come up to me and hand me 300 euros right in my hand. What's this for? And he says, for all your great fucking work on Fukushima. I never met him before in my life, you know, but not here. Here they spit on me, and I'm 7th generation Utah. 7th. I go all the way back. I'm so connected, you know, and so, but fuck me, you know. It's sad, all the work that I've done, and I get nothing. So, there we go. Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Stay in tuned.